We talked about the 7 categories when setting your goals. So the next question is, how do we achieve those goals? So tip number 4 is to create habits and systems around those goals. Earlier, we said that your goal has to be specific. It's important for it to be specific because the steps you're going to make, they have to align to that, right? I mean, you can't just say, I want to be rich in like 12 months. So like, how are you going to create the steps towards that? Right. So if it's a specific goal, like I want to have 1 million by the end of this year, then at least your goals will be specific as well. So how do we do that? All right, so tip number 5 is to write the systems in achieving your goal and then you put them into categories. Basically, yung category lang dito is short-term or long-term goal ba siya. Let's say it's a financial goal, personal finance. You want to build an emergency fund in case in the future, if may mga medical emergencies, then you're going to be financially prepared for it. So that is the long-term goal, right? So I want to be able to afford any medical emergency. So that's a specific goal for the future. You have to create a system, right? So how do we do that? If that is a long-term goal, you break it down to short-term goals. So let's start with a 12-month goal, right? So for this year, how much money would you like to raise for your emergency fund? So let's say a figure is 1 million pesos for 12 months. If you think about it, 1 million pesos is a lot of money for many Filipinos, right? And it can be really daunting. Like, how am I supposed to get to 1 million when I'm only earning this much every month? How are you going to set yourself up for success? So you break it down further into short-term goals. So let's say you break it down into a quarter. So every 3 months, you have to raise at least 250,000. Get you to the 1 million mark at the end of the year. So at least 250,000. For a lot of people, it can be still it's still a huge amount of money, but it's not as big as like 1 million. The first 3 months since you started that goal, so you only focus on 250,000. Don't think too much about 1 million. That's so far ahead of me. So just 250,000. And then when you reach the end of the first quarter, then you check. Did I reach my goal? If you did not, then you reassess your goal, right? So maybe I need to put in more money every day or maybe get more clients so I could raise this much amount of money every quarter. So that's it. So that's also kind of like giving yourself a deadline and then along the way. Because if your deadline is in 12 months pa, so that's like how human nature is like, I have 12 months pa naman.
Tagal pa yun.
Right? I'm gonna start saving maybe on the 11th month. Which is really, really tempting, right? So it's important to create short-term goals para hindi ka masyadong mag-slack off din, especially if planning for a long-term goal.
And I wanted to point out that we also discussed that's episode 19 natin, yung no BS productivity. Like tulad ng sinabi mo din na if you're really overwhelmed to create like a 1,000 word article, so start with like 100 muna, diba? Until na maka-achieve ka na to 1,000 word article. Yeah, it's really good, Jen. It's so actionable talaga. And I really like that you really laid it down paano namin gagawin.
Yeah, get your 1 million by the end of this year, okay?
Catch the full episodes of Article and Design podcast. Watch for free only on Article and Design YouTube channel or listen for free on Spotify. Search for Article and Design. If you want to join the discussion, be a member of our community. Search for Article and Design on Facebook groups. See ya!